morning, everybody. Oh, it's not morning, it's afternoon. I usually do my videos in the morning. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 46 degrees here in Lehigh, Utah, and 7 degrees Celsius. I'm Highway Stitcher, Colette, and I'm here to give you my updates from the highway and at home. And grateful to have you here with me. This is a video on mostly cross stitch, some bobbin lace, which I love, and also all kinds of other crafts whenever they happen to appear. And I'm kind of an eclectic stitcher. If you see something, if you're a new subscriber and see something you like, well, great. Join me more. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I like practically everything. Full coverage, samplers, modern classics, kits, classics. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I've had some new subscribers and I'm grateful to be here. It's been a little over 2 years and it's amazing journey, but I enjoy it. So I'm going to go on and start with my cross stitch, and I have a FFO and an FO, and then on with my whips. Last week, it was about a week and a half ago that I last videoed. I think I didn't tell you my plans. I was pretty sick last week and a half ago, and not feeling that great. So I think I just went through my whips and did not do any kind of plans. This week, this video, I will tell you my plans more. And so I apologize for that. Anyway, on to, let's start with the FFO. This is fully finished. This is called Forever Young, and it's by Silver Creek Samplers. And this is a little sampler that I stitched for my nephew and his fiance, who will be married on April 1st, 2 weeks from now. So I'm happy with the fact that I got this finished and fully finished before I went to the wedding, because this is one of their wedding gifts. I stitched this on a Be Stitch Me fabric. It's called Not Another Sampler fabric. 32 count, 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads, and a whole change of the colors of the floss from called for to whatever I wanted to do. If you're interested, just email me below and I can tell you all the colors that I used. But I kind of went in the same vein as what the designer was doing, but just changed out my overdyes just a little bit. So yeah, they're all overdyes, classic and gentle arts weeks, but I changed out the colors a little bit. So anyway, what I liked about this is I ended up at the end using kind of a metallic here, one of those DMC, God, I can't remember the name of it now, it'll probably come to me later, but that DMC metallic that they have now, and I think that looks pretty. This is kind of a white gold metallic, because I asked them what their rings look like and they showed me, and so it was more, more towards the white gold, so I used that. So anyway, I hope they enjoy it. I had it framed at Hobby Lobby. Didn't cost me hardly anything because I already had bought the frame there. And so the guy who does the framing there pins, stretches and pins. I always had it. He's always done a fairly decent job for me, and I've appreciated that. And he also is training another girl there too, and she framed one of my other pieces and did a very good job too. So you might check out, if you don't like to stretch and pin and lace your own pieces, you might give Hobby Lobby a check, your own, and maybe check on their people who do the framing and see if they know about framing stitch, cross stitch and embroidery, because it's kind of a good go-between. I have a really good framer, but for pieces for presents, I just can't afford to spend the amount of money that she charges. It's just for real special pieces that I will do that, pieces that I keep. I guess I am selfish, but that's just it. So anyway, check out Hobby Lobby if you're interested in a fairly inexpensive way to frame. This one I think totally cost me $39-40. So I thought that was really good with the frame. So very good. Anyway, let me see if there's anything else that I have to say about this one. Nope. It's all done and ready for me to take it in 2 weeks. So boy, am I happy about that. One of them down and one to go, and I'll tell you the other one in a little bit. But you know, because it'll be coming up with my whips in my whips. But yeah, one down and one to go. Okay, I have an FO. FO I just finished this morning. That's why I decided not to do my video until now. My FO is Harriet Elizabeth Coe. I did finish her. Two things about this piece when I show it that's, you know, I want to explain over again for those who have not watched my videos before. I put this piece, I started it in Stitch Mania, which was a stitching challenge that went on in May, and where you picked a new project, you know, depending on how you decided to do it for every day of May, or every day according to the day that, I mean the year that you had. Like a few years ago I did 19 projects because it was 2019 and so forth. So anyway, this was a 2018, let's see, I know I have it written down here. Yeah, it was a 2018 new start in Stitch Mania. So, you know, I just was getting tired of all my Stitch Mania starts that I had done for the last 7 years. And I decided my Stitch Mania was going to be Stitch Finiscia, because I wanted to get these Mania pieces finished. So I'm just really excited. This is another one to check off my list. And I also have another in whips that I'll be checking off for a finish in March, barring any problems, you know. But I'm pretty sure it'll be a finish too. This took me about 4 days to finish up all of it. And I'm expecting the other one not to take any longer than 4 days. So I'm pretty excited. This piece is stitched on 28 count. Picture This plus fog. I really like this. I really like fog for a sampler stitch. It's very, very nice. So just a subtle, it's just like a subtle gray modeling, you know, maybe a little cream, but mostly a subtle gray. This is by Brenda Gervais, if I didn't mention that before. It's one of her older patterns. She always does such beautiful ones. I used all the called for except for the blue, which you can see in that little bird. And I forgot to write it down what the blue was. I think it was dungarees, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll put it in the box below and let you know for sure. But everything else was called for. There were some specialty stitches in this up at the top, and just regular motifs down below. I did do one add-on to it. There was more open with no stitching right on the other side of that bird, and below that one dog, I think it is, and above the black dog. So I put my initials, even though it was, you know, Harriet Elizabeth Coe's work, which I did finish there, you know, her stitching, I mean her name and the date she did it. I figured, well, I'm going to put my initials there. So CAK for Colette and Kingsley. So that was just my one little add-on. The rest is pretty much all the correct floss and just my chosen fabric. This was done on 2/2, 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. And I think that's all, other than I said I was going to be concentrating on another piece to get it also finished. But both of these pieces I was concentrating on for a yearly challenge that I'm doing called Animal Adventures, which is through the Daily 30 Facebook group. It's a closed group now, but they do open it up every now and again for more members. Their yearly challenge was to pick 3 projects that are whips and work on them a certain amount of stitches depending on what you choose to do. And so last year I did it and finished several Mania pieces. So I, you know, put other pieces in place of that, and I'm continuing on with that focus. I've got this, I don't know, I've got this like, what would you call it? Well, I don't know if you call it just a desire or just this feeling of like, I want to get these pieces finished right now, or soon to be right now. So that's kind of when everybody has like a a goal for their, like 2022 or their previous years. Other people had other goals. Well, my goal was to get more pieces finished, even larger ones. So I opted to not do any sales other than the one or two I was already involved in and that are continuing on. Other than that, I didn't join any sales this year. If something comes along that I really like, I may join in doing it, which I am. You'll see that actually, because I'm going to pull out something that I am joining in with this weekend. But it's not something that I'm going to be working on continuously. I'll join in on it, do it for the couple days that it's going to be done, with the other people, and then I'm putting it aside and going back to my pieces that are close to a finish. So I guess probably finishes, especially Stitch Mania finishes, old finishes is my goal this year in 2022. And so far I've been enjoying it. I just loved working on this piece. This piece was so much fun. There may come across I may come across a time when some of them aren't fun, and I understand that. So I'll just have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But right now they have been actually very enjoyable to work on and to pick up and say, oh good, I'm getting closer to finish, or I'm going to finish them. Okay, my next one is my full coverage, about the only full coverage that I'm really working on to any degree right now, because I've had to concentrate on, I've wanted to concentrate on my my Stitch Mania finishes, as well as getting the burst sampler and the wedding sampler, finished up. But this one, those of you who watched before know, I finally put all of my full coverage. I printed them all out and put them in a booklet, the same as Stitching Mommy. I thought that was a good idea. Mine was getting just really ripped up and torn inside my project bag, so I figured I'll just bring this and show this with the pieces I'm working on. And also, thankfully enough, I don't know if it's because I'm doing my video in the afternoon or not, but it's hardly glaring here. So this is what she looks like. This is the piece I've been working on. It's called a lace maker. The artwork is by Miles Burkett Foster. Yeah, Burkett Foster. It's one of those antiquity pieces, that is like from a long time ago. Anyway, I got 656 stitches in during this last week and a half. I really need to catch up on it. I haven't worked on it for a long time, but even though it was a focus piece this year, a couple of those other like new nieces and new grandniece weddings, things like that, kind of had to take precedence over Lace Maker for a while. But I'll be able to go back to her and get more work done on her. So anyway, I'll show you what I accomplished this time. Right along here I've been working. I usually do the Typewriter Method similar to Sarah Stitchy Mommy. If you want to go to her video, she has a Stitch With Me video where she explains it more. I usually take the topmost unworked stitch and then I just work it down to wherever it is on here, because it's easy to find it through Pattern Keeper now. And I have a gridded, because I got a grid, because if I don't grid, I can't find. But anyway, between the gridding and the Pattern Keeper, I can find enough stitches to do one, like my highest thread filled in and then continue on down. Interestingly enough, filled in all of this area here and some of this, but I've been getting quite a bit of the edge of the roof there. All this area down here is the edge showing up on that roof. So that'll be nice, because I'm getting a little burned out with roof stitches. It looks nice. I'll say that it looks very nice, but I am getting a little burned out. So I'll be glad to move on down to some other colors. I'm almost to the point now. I just realized if I go across, there's a couple little stitches there, but if I go straight across from it, I'm over to these for the chimney. So I can start picking my highest threads from this chimney area now. And it took me forever to get through all that slush, through all that brown to get down. And now I'm kind of even across the whole piece. And I guess I can just show you that. I can just pull it out. There's not a whole lot done, but it is completed all the way across. So anyway, on the other side, as you can see, there's some trees. So now I can kind of like, once I get that roof down a little bit more, I can do go across and pick higher stitches from the chimney and then from the trees too. So that'll be fun. So let's see, this is a 25 count even weave. I usually do 1/1 full cross, and I'm using all the called for colors, and let's see, that's probably about it for this one. So I am keeping up on a full coverage. I have this desire to do more full coverages. Sometimes I just get, oh, I want to do them, but I also want to do the other things, you know, that I'm working on too. So we'll get to more of them later. And also in my plans, I will be getting to another one too. So that'll be fun. I'll be doing more than one this week. Okay, another whip is the other part of the stitching that I had to start doing for a wedding and a birth. This is actually called Gabrielle Rose, but it's whatever name you put down for whatever baby you're doing it for. This is by La Di Da. I fell in love with this piece. I thought it was so cute. Anyway, I'm working on this for my great niece, who was just born 2 days ago on March 15th. Yeah. And her name is Zoe, so I'll be adding Zoe and her birth date down below. So it's pretty exciting. I've been working on this one. I worked on this one like 4 days last week to get a lot more done on it. And I was working on it the day she was in labor and the day that she gave birth to Zoe. But then I had to put it aside because I wanted to get Harriet finished. So, but I will pick her back up and work on her more. So she's quite a bit done now. I'm doing this on, it's a linen called Linens by Designs. That's one I've never heard of before. And the color is Barn Owl. It's 32 count. I'm doing 2 threads, 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. And using all the called for, because I just thought it just worked out really nice. I'm not using the called for fabric because, you know, I just found this and I thought this was nice. I subbed it in, but everything else is the called for colors. And what I have left to do, other than doing her name and her birth date, that'll go real fast, is I got to do all this fill in. I've got to cut, you know, I've got to continue that color there and make it go all under the love view. So that's a lot of fill in to do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to outline it first, and then if I have like Zoom meetings or other meetups, then I can just fill it all in. That'll be fun. You know, I can just talk to people and not worry about doing any mistakes. That's kind of why I did the rest of the flower and birds and all the border, because I figured if there was a time when I wanted to watch a movie with Chris or go stitch with somebody, then all I had to do was fill it in. So that's how that one is doing. And when I get done with that, I will also take that to Hobby Lobby and get it framed. So it's a cute pattern. It's going to be harder to find a frame for this. I may have to custom frame this because of the length, but I'll take it down and see what I can find. So that's the other part of my relative stitching that had to take precedence. Oh, also, with both of the relative stitchings that I did, I forgot to bring this up. This one and the La Di Da, they were put into my Whip Go. I'm also doing Whip Go, which is the bingo board for stitch pieces that Jessie Marie does she has a Facebook page called Whip Go if you want to go, if you don't know about it. You choose to put different whips that you want to have work done on them, and you choose your own goals on every day, every number of the bingo board. And then she picks them 2 a month and you work on them. And what I did this time is I wanted to keep my Whip Go going, but I replaced the 2 Whip Go pieces with the birth and the wedding sampler. And the wedding sampler, both of them I said they were going to have a finish. So this one has had a finish, so the Whip Go is checked off and fine. This one will have a finish before April's next Whip Go. So I wanted to mention that because those were my Whip Go pieces that were put in there as an exchange. Next month I'll go back to when they pick them. I'll be picking up what numbers Jessie Marie calls. I will be doing the sampler that is called. and the 1,000 stitches that I have chosen to do for my goal. Okay. Oh, okay. The next one that I have here on top, I don't have them in any order. I like to work on classics on Dimensions Gold Kits. I've been planning on doing a Christmas stocking for a while, and those of you who've been following me see that I did finally pick it up several months ago and start working on it before Christmas. This is called Enchanted Ornament Stocking. It's a gold collection kit, and I'm doing this in a sal with Amy of Amy Loves Toads. We both had the exact same kit. This time I actually finished up the second ornament. Not totally, of course, because I have to do the stitching around the ornament and then, of course, backstitch, like I backstitched the whole circle of the ornament. But I did pretty much finish up the ornament itself and backstitched the deer. So there they are. Amazingly, I was surprised. I was just doing this as a daily 30, meaning that I was just picking it up for 30 minutes to an hour every day, and then I'd set it aside and work on the wedding one or work on Harriet or whatever. And when I counted up my stitches, I couldn't believe how many stitches I did just doing that every day. So, I may go back after I get some of my other pieces done and pull this back out and use it in doing like a daily 30, because I counted and I got 1,187 stitches done. So wow, that was better than I did with Lace Maker. So this is being stitched on light blue Aida, which came with the kit. It's 2 floss threads over 1 thread for Aida, and I'm using all the called for floss that came in the kit. And anything else with that one? Nope, that's it. And then the last piece I did some work on was the one sal that I am keeping up with, that I started in October. Several of us saw this. We really loved this pattern by Liz Matthews. Hello, was that Liz Matthews? It's My Home in the Garden. And so we started it as a sal in the middle of October. So of course if I'm going to keep up, I need to keep up for it the rest, through October. So this is really the only sal that I work on every month. Other than that, I'm pulling up pieces that I want to finish. This is being stitched on. My section that I did this month is right down there by I did the M and the N and the O, and then those flowers above it, and those couple little butterflies. So it's kind of in the middle. This is being stitched on a Bee Stitched Me fabric called Peanut, kind of a creamy type of color, a little subtle modeling, and I'm using the Gloriana silks that come with it. It's just turning out so pretty. It really is beautiful, and I'm glad that I decided to participate in it, even though I don't like to keep up on sales that I have a certain amount to do on each month, because sometimes I feel like it takes away from what there's stuff that I may want to pick up and do. But this one has been a joy to work on. I love it. So it's 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads for mine, and on 32 count, the called for fabric. And so next month we'll work on our next section. And like one of my friends who is working on it, we're almost halfway done. So that's pretty exciting. I didn't even realize that until she mentioned it. So it's My Home in the Garden. And then I'll bring in lace a little bit, because this last week and a half I did work on one lace piece. Not very much of it though. But I'll show you what I got done. This is bobbin lace. If you're joining me for the first time, it's a form of weaving. And the pattern is right there on the, on this round dome, which is we call it a lace pillow. That pattern there, I'll show you a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. This last week and a half, I finished the top half of the gift box that is right there. So I did all of this, and these type of stitches, that type of stitches, and then I started up on this other gift box. So I have one more gift box to go, and then one more filling down lower on the thread. Man, oh man, it's hard to put this a certain way where you can see it. There, you can almost see it better that way. But I'll show you what the sled looks like. I have a picture of it here. This is a cool book that we have called Bobbin Lace Patterns for Christmas and Winter. I love this one on the front. And the pattern's in here. I only worked on it on Tuesday, which is my lace day, where I go to different groups and work on lace. So I finished up this one, and then I started on this one. So if I showed it to you, all the rest is done, except for this little section here, which I decided is so easy, I'll just gonna go back and have fun doing it. And then this last gift box here, and then finishing up the, let me see. Yeah, this gift box here, which I just barely started. So, boy, I told my friend, my lace friend, on Tuesday night, I said, I am just getting really burned out with starts and stops, because this piece here, there's sections to it. So you have to tie in a bunch of bobbins, work the pattern, just a little tiny section, sew it all off, and then cut it off, and then rewind bobbins again, put them up. And some of them have as many as 12 or 13 pairs. Some only have like 4 pairs. So I spend like half my night or half my day winding bobbins, cutting bobbins off, sewing them off. So anyway, needless to say, I'm ready to do a piece that's just all straight lace all the way through, where I only tie it off and end it at the very end, not in little sections. I love this one. The lady who suggested it, she goes, I'm sorry, but I love the piece. And I go, well, I love the piece too, but I'm just tired of starting and stopping. So I'm very happy that all I've got left, I'll have to tie off those when I finish that. I'll have to start and stop this one, and then I'll have to start and stop that little bit, and I'll be done, guys. And then I can cut all the threads off and pull it off the lace pillow. So that'd be exciting. Some of you have asked if I could do like a lace with me video, and also some other like implements for bobbin lace, and I would love to do that, but I have to wait for a couple things. I have to wait to get a couple of these finishes that need to be finished done in my stitching, and then also I need to get something good to hold my I don't have a camera, but I usually use my tablet for filming, or my phone. I need to get like a good tripod or something where I can position it so you can see me actually making lace before I can actually do a lace with me video. But I have written them down as things that I want to show and do, and I have remembered what you've asked. So I will do them. I'm thinking maybe more into April or May is probably when first time I'll get a chance. But thanks for the suggestions, everybody, and I'm glad you enjoy the lace. I, didn't know that I would get a lot of good feedback from that. So thank you so much. Okay, on to my plans. Okay, for this coming weekend, excuse me. I had a phone call coming through, so. Okay, plans, back to plans. I have to think about it again. This coming weekend, I will be focusing on just 2 whips that one is a start and one is a whip. The start will be the next one of the Montage series by Janet Stever. I'll be doing this one with Stitchy Mommy, and there's several other people that are doing it. We're all doing it as a cell. We started the winter montage last month, and so now that winter is transitioning into spring, then we are going to go ahead and do the spring one. So anyway, this is like a little different than the winter one. So grateful that I was able to pick these up and have a chance to work on them. They're pretty cool, and I like them a lot. I really like them a lot. I'm going to work on this with. Let's see, just a minute, guys. I'm going to turn off my phone. I keep getting a call, and it's like a spam call, and it just keeps interrupting me. Okay, so I'm working on, this is what I did my winter montage on. It's a moss green Lugana 25 count, which of course I'll be doing 1/1 full cross. And I really do like it on this. It looks really nice. So I'll be concentrating, that'll be one of the projects I'll be concentrating on. It'll be a new start. I'll see how many stitches I can get done. Hopefully it'll all work out, and I'll get lots of stitches done on it this weekend, which is when I'm going to be working on it. The other piece that I'll be working on over the weekend and also into next week until I finish it, until it's an FO, is one of my other Stitch Mania starts. This is Emerald City. It's by Owl Forest Designs. And I have completed pretty much most of this to just the top row here. I just have a little bit left to do. Well, not a little bit, but you know, where I'm sure in about 4 days I can get it all finished up. And check off another Stitch Mania. This was started in 2020 Stitch Mania, and this is what it looks like right now. It's on Hand Dyed by Rolanda Fabrics. She's on Etsy. She does a lot of vibrant, like swirly types of fabric. And it works really great for this particular pattern because it reminds me of tornadoes, and also the green reminds me of the Emerald City, which is what the pattern is. So I really, really like it. The last stuff I worked on was starting on the balloon up there, as you can see, in her house as she comes back to her house. So I've just really got the stuff that's above the other part of the city left. Mostly just, I mean, I have a little bit over there but with the balloon, but mostly what's above the witch here and above this part of the city, which I know is winged monkeys. Let's see. Yeah, there's a winged monkey and the wizard. So when those are completed, and I also have to go back and do a little bit of over one. I have to do over one for the ruby red slippers for one section, and also for Glinda's face for the other. I just didn't get around to doing them because I can stitch a lot faster if I'm not doing over one. I like over one, don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm just so excited about getting the main part of this done that I want to get that done, and then I'll go back and do the stitch over one because there's not that much of it I have to do. And then it will be FO'd. And that'll be another one crossed off of Stitch Mania. And so this one, yeah, I'm using the Call for Floss on this, which is just DMC. Very pretty. It shows up really nice. The closer you put this to the camera, the more it looks not the correct color. The correct color of this is really back this far. That's the kind of green it really is. I was just showing it close so you could see the characters. But this is the correct green it is. It's a good one for St. Patty's Day, which I forgot to say, Happy St. Patrick's Day. I forgot I was doing this video on St. Patrick's Day. And this is appropriate with all the green. So I'm doing that with 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. And that's about it, I think. I'll be working on this one, like I said, all weekend and into next week until it gets done. And I will post on my Instagram, which is colettestitcher, when I do get it finished. So I'll be able to check off 2 more Stitch Mania plans. I mean, you know, finishes. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm going to bring out the burst sampler again after Emerald City is finished. I want to get that part done underneath the or all through the I Love You part. So I want to get that done. So I'll bring that out, work on that, and along with that, I'm also going to work on Lace Maker too, because you know, this one right here that I showed you the full coverage, because I do want to catch up on it. So I'll bring that out and work on that more too. So that's going to be my plan mostly. Oh, and also I'm going to work on the lace sled too. I'm not going to guarantee a finish on it because these other cross-stitch pieces is what I'm really concentrating on, but I should get more done on it. So I only have just a tiny bit of haul, so I'll just show that fast. I got my color and cotton fabric. This is 40 count Ophelia. So nice natural and neutral for my samplers. So that's that. My Be Stitched Me fabric hasn't come yet. So, and I haven't been buying anything, just saving up my money to go to retreats or other things. So, or I've been spending it on other stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with stitching, which I will talk about as I get into my life updates, which is right now. I mentioned that my grandniece was born 2 days ago. I spent some money to go buy some fabric to some of that minky type of fabric that's all softy. I want to make her a baby blanket also, along with this stitched piece that I'm doing for her. I picked up a wedding present for my nephew and his fiance also. So some of my money was going towards that. Unfortunately, some of my money was going towards funeral flowers, which isn't so great. Last month I mentioned, if you follow my videos, that I had a good friend, lace friend, who was a teacher who passed away. Well, since then, a very good stitching friend, her husband passed away of brain cancer. And then shortly after that, a very dear friend of mine who we've known each other since 1981, and her husband and my husband were good friends, and her and I are just dear friends. Her husband was on a decline. He had vascular dementia, was doing very poorly. And so this isn't unexpected, but he passed away a few days ago. So I got some flowers, took them over. I'll be going to the funeral tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure how much stitching I'm going to get done on the new start. But anyway, that's how it goes with that kind of stuff. And then to top that all off, I have a friend who, her kids grew up with my kids, and her middle child, son, is about the same age as my son, 44, and he got diagnosed with lung cancer. And not only just lung cancer, he got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and they told him to basically, they can't operate on him. He basically go home and enjoy whatever months he has left with his family. He never smoked a day in his life, and this was quite a shock to their family, and a shock to me. I thought to myself, boy, my own children, that somebody so young, would be fighting with that. So anyway, all these people have been in my thoughts and prayers, been buying flowers, been buying gifts for the good things, which is my family. In my personal family, everything's been fine, but it's just been kind of crazy with other people not quite in my family. And I've decided this is enough, with the lace friend passing away. I'm done with this. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. But the good things are the wedding and the baby, and our family's doing good. My grandson Zach had his 15th birthday yesterday, and that was fun to celebrate with him. My oldest granddaughter is in a jazz band. She's going to perform on Saturday, and we're going to go see her. So there's good things. Life is good. So anyway, that's my life updates, and I'm going to end with a quote from the gratitude book. This time I picked ahead instead of just opening it. And this is so true. It says, sometimes our light goes out, but is blown into flame again by another human being. Each of us owes our deepest thanks to those who have rekindled that light. So that's what I would have to say to you. There are those people in your life who, when your light's gone out, they'll rekindle it. Some of them are dear friends. Some of them may be people that you don't know that well, and then you realize how special they really are. But whether they're close friends already, or friends that you may have just made, or even somebody who you don't know, they can rekindle that light again for you. So that's what I would leave you with this video, and hope that if your light goes dark or goes close to dark, that they'll be there to rekindle it, that right person for you. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Remember to see the beauty in everything out there. It's there in our world. And remember, there is beauty out there even amongst the difficulties in the world today. There's people out there that do such wonderful things, and also beautiful sights to see if you look for it. So I would say remember the good and be grateful for what you have. So take care of everybody. I'll see if I can make it next week and give you an update on whether I got any other finishes or not. So anyway, take care of everybody. Love you lots, and I'll see you later.